Here like swimwear.
Hey, Birdman hand rub.
What happened to that boy?
But you are now watching J.U.K Sports Show. I'm your host, King Ralph, here with the homie and my co-host, the homie Kai.
Yo, yo, yo.
How
What's
you
good,
feeling?
man? Hey, I'm doing great. I'm feeling energetic today. I'm feeling good. I know it's been a minute. We weren't here, I think last week. I was out vacationing and all that kind of stuff. Um, hey everyone, I went to Six Flags for the first time.
That's crazy, bro. That's
And
so.
I learned don't do the Harley Quinn ride because people was throwing up like crazy, bro. I didn't mention that.
The Harley Quinn ride was making people throw up.
Yeah, because it goes at like a freaking right angle, bro, in the sky.
Oh,
Yeah.
yo, that's
But
crazy.
it was fun. I'm good. I'm just happy to be here, bro. I'm happy to be here.
Hey, that's what's up, bro. I'm glad you had a good time, bro. I was really interested based
Yeah.
on the story that we had off camera, but
Yeah.
I'm glad it went well, man. That's
Thank
dope.
you.
That's dope.
Yeah.
But before we get this show up and rolling, send a little shout out to the sponsors, although we have not been in the studio in a minute. I was thinking about it earlier today. I was about to hit them up, like, yo,
Yeah.
can we still pull up?
Pull
But
up.
shout out to them, man. We're doing the podcast, photo shoots, music videos. Call the number on the bottom of the screen, 707 Fit Boxer. And we'll jump straight into it, man. Some news over the weekend, good, some Aaron Donald gets a contract extension.
Yes.
With the LA, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in history.
Yeah.
Did they get it right, or is it wrong?
I just want to preface my comments by saying this. I like Aaron Donald. Love Aaron Donald. Great. That's a great basketball player. See, I'm on that hoop stuff already. But great. We'll get to that, Kai. Great player. But the Los Angeles Rams, Ralph, and the masses, they need to be under federal investigation by the NSA, the FBI, the CIA, and the LA County Police Department. Where are they coming up with this money laundering money, bro? I don't know. He absolutely deserved the money, bro, but they need to be under federal investigation, bro. You know what? I think the natives of LA are in on it. They're using some of their pension, some of their equity, some of their mortgage money, all that kind of stuff, and they're feeding the Rams because the cap is cap. The cap is cap. But not to be too long-winded, bro, and I'll let you give your piece. Aaron Donald's amazing. Team's game plan for him. I've never seen anyone his size at 6 foot, right? So quick on his feet. I don't know if you saw the drills that he was. I was like, what? Like the dude, quick feet, interior pressure, just everything. And no disrespect to Cooper Kupp, I get it. He won the Super Bowl MVP, but I think me and you were saying on the show that technically, let's be real, Aaron Donald was the MVP of the game in that fourth. But I understand why Kupp won it because people value offense, and he led that drive to win the game. So yeah,
out on that drive, bro.
Yeah. It's splitting hairs. It's like it depends on how you want to argue it. But I thought Aaron Donald was it, then Kupp, then Stafford. But bro, he's amazing. I think Field Yates posted up. I think what is he, Ralph? 5-time or 6-time All-Pro? I mean, the dude is the greatest defensive tackle in NFL history. So yeah, he absolutely deserved the money. They just need to be under investigation by the NSA ASAP. So. Your thoughts, man. Your thoughts.
Like everybody trying to get this money, and it's like, bro, you can only pay so many people. How everybody got $1 million contracts?
I don't know where it's coming from, bro. They got that Suge Knight stimulus package over there, bro.
Because even Ramsey, don't Ramsey got like a $20 million deal or something like that?
Yeah.
That's like 50. That's almost 60 mil between two players.
Yeah. The only person they didn't pay a bunch was Wagner. He turned down money from our team, the Ravens, my team, the Ravens, to go to LA to stay at home and all that. Yeah. But yeah. He definitely deserved the money, Aaron Donald.
I think it's actually me personally, bro. I do think it's a right move. He's one of those that, like, man, to my knowledge, bro, I don't really remember a whole lot of hype behind Aaron Donald. I just remember looking up, like, probably his second or third season. It was like, yo, this dude is wild. Like, he's like on a tear.
Yeah.
should think like now, the one thing going into the Super Bowl was always like, was the Super Bowl before, if you remember, he didn't really do that. He didn't really like, he was Aaron Donald, but he didn't like pop off your screen like that.
Right.
So like for me, I think that him getting that money and after his performance in that Super Bowl is a credit to him because, like I said, he didn't have any hype. Like it was coming out of college. Then he built up a hype to where he disappointed in his first Super Bowl showing. So now, ball out, like, telling you, bro, everybody noticed it. I don't remember who that lineman was, but when he poked the bear, he got into that scuffle on the sideline. The switch flipped. He was a whole nother Aaron Donald after that snap. Actually, the very next snap, he affected.
Yeah.
After that, he just took over. But then Cooper Kupp right there, like you said, you're splitting hairs at that point. Who wins that?
Right.
MVP. They could have been co-MVP for that much.
Yeah.
I'm not really like.
Good point.
Although he's a defensive lineman, I do think that you got to pay your pass rushers regardless of the inside or outside. Now, him being able to do both and get sacks at such a high number puts his value at so much to where he totally deserves that number.
Yeah.
I think that it will hinder them too much because it's like you're playing in LA. If they continue to be successful, they're always going to get people that want to come there. And how many athletes are in the NFL that are from LA? Like,
yeah, man. Like my only last point on it, obviously for obviously like I say for the sake of time is when we talked about can they repeat, because we were talking about that before the show and all that kind of stuff last night. And I really think I really like this roster, man. And I want to give you your props once again. You stuck with them throughout the season. You said, that was a team. And now when you look at, okay, what they lost, but what they gained, okay, yes, you lose a Robert Woods, you lose an Odell, who's really on the back end of his career, can still play, but injured. But then you replace him with an Allen Robinson, a guy who's been able to produce with mid-level to below average quarterbacks. You get back a healthy Cam Akers, so he'll be starting the season healthy. Then you add a Bobby Wagner to that, who's going to play behind the greatest defensive tackle in NFL history. So that's going to extend his career and make his job easier at chasing down running backs and all that. And you have Jalen Ramsey there. So if you look at it, you could say if they're not better, they're just about the same as last year. My only qualm would be, like you mentioned, pass rush, is you did lose a Von Miller, right? So that might give you a little bit of a ding, but Aaron Donald opens up so much more, and you did gain Bobby Wagner. And so play recognition from a linebacker being the green dot guy, whatever they call it, and him playing at home, I think that will give them a little more juice, having guys who want to win again and stuff like that. So I think I see the Bills there. I think the Bills are like the Vegas odds to win the Super Bowl, but I definitely believe that the Rams are right there, and you can make the case that they should be favored as well. So I think they definitely have a shot to repeat just off the roster alone. So that's it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't disagree with you at all. But on to the next one. Zion Williams. Mr. Fat Man himself.
Jambalaya.
Mr. King Jambalaya over there.
I like that. King Jambalaya at the Smoothie Center. There we go.
But Zion is up for a max extension.
Yeah.
At this point, with his injury history, whether or not there's talks to him even want to be there. Is this right? Would this be a right move, or would this be a wrong move?
Oh man, and it kind of goes against everything I say, bro, about injury history, predictors of that, players wanting and all that kind of stuff. But I think I'm gonna argue right. The reason why I'm gonna argue right is because me and you, we talked about his talent, right? You get crucified if you don't go after talented players. You just don't. He's 21 years old, averaging. He's played in a total of 85 games, started in 85 games in 2 seasons. Yes, he has that. He's gotten injured, but he had, one major injury. Well, I guess you could say 2 major injuries. However, his production when he's on the court is amazing. All right, productivity averaging about 26 to 27 points per game, 60% from the field, giving you what did he give you, like 7 assists, I'm not sure how many rebounds he has. I had it in front of me, but his impact, his explosiveness, his down up explosiveness, rebounding. He can play positionless, play a point forward position, play the power forward position. So from a skill and a talent, he's worth it. Secondly, I heard C.J. McCollum make some really great points. It was actually a Max Kellerman sit down, I guess, that he did, and I caught that on YouTube. And I just really liked what CJ brings from a veteran presence. And he said that he's been talking to Zion Williamson, and he said, with players of that ilk, right? Work on your diet, work on your strength and conditioning. Are you going to sleep at the right time? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And I feel like CJ McCollum, I never really knew this much about CJ McCollum outside of him being a veteran. He's that perfect bug in Zion's ear where I think CJ sees this dude is young. And if you just, what's that word, Ralph? If you just tweak some things here or there with Zion, hey, you know what I'm saying? You can't throw a 21-year-old away so quickly. Oh, he got injured. He just wants to go to another team, so let's give up. No, next year he could come out and bust people's. You know what? You feel what I'm saying? If he does this and that and that, so I think the future is bright for Zion Williamson. I just think ultimately it will come down to, like you said, does he want to stay there? But if from the Pelicans, I'm going to offer him the 185 eligible max extension deal. And then my last point, Ralph, was the roster that they have. I like the roster. We talked about it before the show. Herbert Jones, the rookie that showed no fear. Jackson Hayes, a nice defensive guy. Jose Alvarado, we saw what he did to CP3. And then, oh boy, Brandon Ingram, young B.I., as Jay-Z would say. And what's the other dude? There's one more guy I'm missing. I'm missing his name. Help me out. Brandon Ingram. Oh, Valanciunas. Yes. Another veteran presence in that locker room who can defend and rebound.
He's a solid big.
Yeah, solid big and can score. So I just like that team, man. I don't want him to break it up. So it will come down to the Zion want to, stay. So yeah,
I definitely agree, man. Like once they got CJ, I probably like before they got CJ, I was like, yeah, he just wants to get out of there.
Yeah, me too. I agree with that.
I was like, the team's not really that good. Like it's dope to have BI, but like if I can get around my boys,
yeah,
like we can all do this together. Maybe we'll achieve our potential. But like after they got CJ, I was like, why would you want to leave that? Like your team is so much better.
Yeah.
Then like the other people, like the emergence of Jose.
I like him, bro.
Like Jackson Hayes' toughness.
Yeah.
Like having Valanciunas. You got BI.
Mm-hmm.
Herbert Jones is young. So it's like you got two running mates.
Like legit
running mates. Like you got two go for 30.
Right.
And so it's like, why would you want to leave that for the possibility of like just playing with your friends?
And is RJ Barrett better than Brandon Ingram?
No.
I'm like,
no, like
he can't cook like him, bro. Come on, man. So
and then when like shout out to the home guitar,
yeah,
because and he got to going about how Zion was a bust, and he started comparing him to Ben Simmons, and I'm like, yo, come on, bro.
I'm gonna draft him fantasy just for that.
Then it's like, bro, we're not gonna go back to Duke and talk about how. Then he was like, RJ Barrett was the one keeping him in them games. I was like, bro, was we watching the same games?
Honestly, Cam Reddish did more than Barrett, but anyway, that's another story.
Right. RJ Barrett, the reason why they lost that last game. Get the ball. Zion put y'all back in this position. Get the ball to Zion. What y'all own?
Yeah.
Like he's cooking. Like why are you trying to do the whole Russell Westbrook thing? I'm gonna cook with you.
Right.
It's like, no, bro. Just get the rock to your best players.
And we can't forget old boy Willie Green, the head coach. He showed a great ability. I thought this was the perfect example. I would show high school kids. I would show any coach this. He showed a great ability to what it looks like when you get the most out of your players. Yeah. Even though they didn't win the series, he had all their players playing consistently at a high level. And in the fourth quarter, they were able to deliver and turn it up. And we learned as fans of the game too, and people who just watch it with their families as well, we got to see some names that we probably never heard of, the Jose Alvarados and stuff like that. And so I got to attribute Willie Green. So why would you leave? And I'm not going to disrespect your boy because I like Tibbs, but maybe Tibbs might be a little too hard on Zion. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But just his running mate and Barrett wouldn't be Brandon Ingram, who I think Brandon Ingram actually averaged 27 in the playoffs. It was like 27 something in the playoffs, and that was
much.
So yeah,
he definitely hooped. So
yeah, he was hooping. So
I'll tell you that much.
They have a lot of potential. All right,
and then we got Mike D'Antoni. Made is a finalist along with Kenny Atkinson, getting the head coaching job for the Charlotte Hornets. My whole thing is this right or wrong? But like I'm gonna lead off because it was something I personally wanted to talk about.
Okay.
And like I just think, man, you give LaMelo that D'Antoni offense, and it's like after the success you've seen him have with other players, and it's like, yo, his skill set fits that. He could definitely be a 30 and 12 assists every night in that offense. He's already averaging like 20 and 7 and 7.
Yeah.
So it's like, but then you got those running mates that he got, the addition of Oubre, Miles Bridges. Like, I just think them two, he gonna be throwing oops. They out there running and gunning. If they keep Harrell, I think the one thing I did agree with you on your point of them getting some help on a part of the floor where
the bigs,
you need those bigs because I still think that like it's funny. Me and my brother was just talking about this before I sat down, and there's always going to be a style of basketball that no matter what area you're in, it's going to work, and you gotta have a big that can create double teams. And so I think for me, I think although Kenny Atkinson will make them a better team, just for the sake of entertainment and just some very creative basketball, Mike D'Antoni with that Hornets offense, with that Hornets team would be crazy. All
right. So you don't want us to win any playoff game? No, I'm messing with you, bro. No, I'm messing with you. Not at all, actually. No. I like your speech on that, bro. I really enjoyed it. You know, it was great. It was well thought out, but I'm going to have to disagree with you on Mike D'Antoni. But I agree with you on that last point. You actually hit what I was going to say. As the honeymoon phase of the Hornets wears off on me, and we get into the nitty gritty of the team. I kid you not. If we could archive IG stories, actually you can't archive IG stories or something, I think. But anyway, or highlights on Instagram. I posted after they fired actually old boy Borrego, right? I said draft Jalen Duren, sign a veteran wing defender, and hire Kenny Atkinson. So actually, you saying this was actually news. So I didn't actually check my notifications or anything. I was like, oh wow, they're actually D'Antoni and or as I call him, Coach Pringles, Mike D'Antoni, looks like the Pringle King, and Kenny Atkinson. I was like, this is like breaking news live. So you're absolutely right in terms of the offense and the threes and all that, but they need 3-point shooters to do that. That's one, right? And if you get rid of Gordon Hayward, you have no 3-point shooters. So that's and Cherry Rozier, whatever. So and also defensively, you're talking about like the worst defensive team in the NBA last year. So if you're a bottom 3 team defensively, bringing in Mike D'Antoni is not going to help you because offense actually was never a problem for them. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't a problem. It was rim protection for us. Jalen Duren represents a guy who is athletic, who can defend multiple positions and can rim run. So we need somebody like that, but also take a DeAndre Ayton because he has that mid-range game and he can actually block shots. You know, I'm not saying he's Mutombo, but he can block some shots and give you 20 and 15 when he wants to. So yeah, I actually like Kenny Atkinson. So actually, you technically said the right thing at the end. You said for fun, D'Antoni, but for the best team, Atkinson. And I think that Michael Jordan, if he really wants to win, and he'd be having me weak up in that press box, bro. Your GOAT, man, he'd be like, oh, man.
Rest.
Hey, MJ be going through it.
Put this team together. But on to the next one. On to the next one. We got big deal or whatever. LeBron James on the shop continues his love for the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry and them. Says that all the teams that are in the playoffs, he would most want to play the Warriors. All this kissing up to the Warriors a big deal, or is it whatever?
Those are your two favorite players, so I'm gonna let you do that one. I'll take the second part of that. All right.
For me, like, I think that it's not that big a deal, bro. Like, at the end of the day, if we know anything about LeBron, like, as he's been playing since 03, 04, like, is when I first found out about LeBron. But it's like, bro, he's the student of the game. He just loves basketball. So, like, I'm sitting here as a fan, just like you are, and we just happen to be talking about basketball.
Yeah.
Does this mean, I don't like playing with Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook? No.
I mean, maybe Russ, but
we over here having a basketball conversation. Right. Is he saying anything that's wild that we don't already know? When he was talking about Steph, that dude can shoot from anywhere. We all know that. Now, if you know anything about basketball, what does that mean with you as a player? That means that someone got to always be paying attention to him, which also opens up the court for so much. Plus, look at the way that they played. KD was able to step in, and day one was immediately the best player on that team.
Yeah.
And it was like no issue. So imagine if I could step in there where I could do everything and step into that position. It's like, bro, it's just something that he's just a basketball fan.
Yeah, he's a fan of the game.
Famous person on the planet as we speak. Yeah. Skip finds a way to bring up LeBron in every segment, bro. Like, it don't even have nothing to do with LeBron.
Every segment, bro.
They on a topic talking about Aaron Rodgers, and somehow LeBron gets brought up. Like, bro, what is going on? Even Skip be like, what? How do we talk about LeBron?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's really that big of a deal. It actually makes me think of kind of little off topic, but it's tying in with two players, LeBron and Steph. I saw, you know how on YouTube you can have like little community posts.
Yeah,
I saw a House of Highlights. Shout out to House of Highlights. I'm sure we all know them. I like Free Dawkins as well. Free Dawkins is my guy, for real. But they did a duo, right? I think it was like what 2-on-2, who would win the 2-on-2? It was LeBron and Steph. Since we're talking about LeBron and Steph, they said LeBron and Steph. These are the choices: LeBron and Steph, MJ and Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq and Kobe, and somebody else. I forgot who the other one was. And I'm thinking, this is going to be easy. Shaq and Kobe or MJ and Hakeem going to win. These dudes said LeBron and Steph. I was like, Lord have mercy. Recency bias and Gen Zs and everything. I was like,
wait. So what's like the terms of the question?
It was just a 2 versus 2. 2v2.
Just 2-on-2?
Yep, just 2-on-2. Who wins?
It depends on who gets the ball first, bro.
Bro, Steph ain't guarding Kobe. He ain't guarding Mike. He ain't guarding any of those dudes. Now, LeBron and Steph is cold, but Shaq and Olajuwon?
Problem is you got to think about the styles of 2-on-2.
That's true.
Make it, take it.
Yeah.
The 3, and then you got to give it up.
Yeah.
Going all the way through where I get to keep the rock if I keep scoring. Because then if the smaller player is guarding one, the other team's smallest, then that means Hakeem or Shaq got to guard LeBron.
Yeah, I like Jordan. I like Jordan and Olajuwon, though. I like Jordan and Olajuwon out of the 3.
Olajuwon would stand a little bit of a better chance, but it's still LeBron, bro.
Yeah. Are you saying you would take them though out of those choices?
I just don't think it's blasphemy.
Okay.
LeBron, right. Because it's like depending on them can hit 3, so that means you got to think about how big a court is. If we play 2-on-2, you pull him all the way out, where you got to guard me for 20 feet.
Yeah. I like Steph and Shaq. I just like the combo of Steph and Shaq more. And then you can, because Kobe and MJ could play with any of those guys. But I feel like Steph and Shaq is more, for me personally, I fear that more than Shaq, than Steph and LeBron. That's just me. And 2-on-2, and 5-on-5, on 2K, on live.
I wouldn't say it's the most perfect.
No, it's not the most perfect
situation for him. Because I do think that if you have Steph, you do need a big.
Yeah, because Shaq getting all those putbacks, he's like,
lateral quickness.
Yeah,
was not his savior.
That's true. Yeah, it's not just. Well, what if it's Orlando Shaq though? Ooh,
Shaq would be a whole problem.
Yeah, but I agree, bro. I'm with you, man. It wasn't wrong. Let LeBron live, and he does need to start that podcast up. As long as he ain't just talking about himself. I know he likes to struggle his own ego, but but hey, bro. One thing LeBron does know is he knows the game of basketball.
Yeah.
So yeah,
most definitely. And then LeBron's favorite hired as the Lakers head coach, Darvin Ham. Former role player. Always tough nose, but he's the catalyst behind that Milwaukee team and that defense because he's definitely instilled a certain amount of toughness, and I think that if they allow him to coach, because I keep hearing about how that Jeannie Buss and Phil and Kurt Rambis want someone that they can kind of like control in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for me, bro, if they just let him do his thing, because it's like Kurt Rambis. Go look up Kurt Rambis' coaching career.
Bro, it's horrible.
And he has a terrible record. And then Phil Jackson has showed that he's just out of touch.
Thank you.
And so it's like Phil Jackson might be the greatest coach of all time. You could I don't have him no lower than 3 in any situation.
Right.
It's been a long time. Sometimes you are just out of touch, bro.
Right. Last time we saw him, he was punching Pau Gasol in his last playoff series in the sideline in the chest. Literally, that he got swept and retired, bro.
I was like, come on, bro. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
Like
he was like, wow.
I was just like, no, that's all bad. You can't have that. And so just let the bros coach.
Yeah.
And if he's allowed to sink his teeth into the team, that it would be good. It will lead dividends for the team because the team is not that bad. It's just the way that they played. You didn't really, what do you say? You didn't really bring the strengths of the team to the forefront. Mm-hmm. You kind of was like, I know my weaknesses, but we're not going to try to correct them at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think with a better made roster, a second year for all 3 of them to play together, and that type of coach that'll call you out when it need be, I think that it can lead dividends.
All right, so I'm gonna give the part that people Laker fans cover here. Is it what?
It is a big deal.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna give my quick like 45-second rundown for Laker fans. Cover your ears. You're not gonna like this. Look, man. Darvin Ham. Hey, I gotta give someone, it ain't all sunshine and rainbows. Look, man. What you just said was nice, and you make some great points on that. But I'm gonna keep it a bug with you, man. LeBron traded in the Krabby Patty formula for the chum bucket once again. The roster don't work. Everyone said it don't work. We saw it don't work. The issue is Russ doesn't listen to anybody. That's the problem I have. He really doesn't. He didn't listen to Mo Cheeks. He don't listen to nobody. He don't listen to Billy Donovan. He's an inefficient shooter, turnover prone like rotisserie chicken, doesn't hit free throws, lost a step, not a great defender. So you put all those things. And the one thing I didn't like what Darvin Ham said, because I think I like his mentality, but the issue I have is what he said. He said that I'm going to look to Russ to set the tone defensively. No, you're not. Russ is never going to do that. You need to look to AD, street clothes, aka always disintegrating. That's what AD stands for.
Street clothes.
Yeah, right. You need to look toward him to set the tone. He even said, I'm gonna make LeBron play defense. And then what happened? Right? You didn't hold LeBron accountable last year, and LeBron was the best player on the team. So
wait, who said that?
Anthony Davis. He said he's going to, make LeBron play defense. And this dude was on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even defend his own body from injury. But anyway, so that's the issue that I have with the Lakers, bro. Here's the positives real quick. Austin Reeves, I like him. Malik Monk, keep him. They have some role players that they should keep. But Carmelo Anthony, it's time, bro. Start your own podcast, something. Do the big 3. It's over, man. I love you, man. Hall of Famer, first ballot. Don't let your career rot with that disenfranchised franchise. LeBron James, you can do something with him. I still believe that the Lakers are blowing smoke and they're trying to get rid of Russ behind the scenes. And the first trade they can get, he's moving him out. Also, my last point for real, though, if they do play better next season, it won't be better than the 8 teams that will be in front of them because Kawhi is coming back, PG is coming back, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. is coming back. The Pelicans are better. The Grizzlies are better. Luka Doncic will get a second star. The Golden State Warriors are here to stay. Did I miss a team? The Phoenix Suns will be better probably. They'll probably break the team up, but they'll still be better than the Lakers. And probably, I don't know, Houston will probably like land like freaking Chet Holmgren or something. You feel me? So the Lakers being better doesn't make them better than the other teams in front of them. And I think that's really the issue I have. So, all right.
And then
I'm sorry,
Adam Silver has been in talks of shortening the NBA season. Is this or is it just what?
No, it's a big deal because I could definitely see him doing it. It's a big deal. Now, whether I agree on it or not, that's a whole nother thing. It's a big deal because we're looking at unprecedented territory. We never had an NBA shortened season since the lockout season of 2011? When we played 66 games and LeBron James won the NBA championship. And obviously we had the 97-98, I believe, or the 98-99 season when Tim Duncan won his ring.
Well, technically it was a shortened season last year.
Oh, yeah. Last year and then the bubble.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, a health scare. But in terms of the players, here's the thing, man. Me and you, like, get out of the way. Like, me and you, we grew up in a time when people were applauded for playing 82-game seasons, right? And also, I think Richard Jefferson made a really good point about that did evaluate to your greatness, because you were able to sustain great play over an extended period of time. A la MJ, a la Kobe, a la Duncan, a la all these players who were able to do it. Even Jordan, I think, as a Wizard, played 82 games. But it's interesting because in one hand, players will be like, well, we lower the risk of injuries, and we actually do have certain rest days that we don't tell the media about, right? Or they'll ask us like, hey, we need to preserve our product. Hey, you rest on these days. The issue I have with that is there can be a pushback of the advancements of sports technology, cryotherapy, all these different things. Players are playing a lot longer. And you have all the money, all the resources that you can actually play 82 games more than you did back then when they didn't have Jack. So I kind of think it's a cop-out. But I'm not so much set in the old way where this is me personally, this is my subjective opinion, where me personally, Ralph, I would be like, oh my goodness, we're only going to play 66 games. Because when the lockout happened, I really couldn't tell the difference. I'm just keeping it real. I enjoyed the lockout season. Derrick Rose, I think, won the MVP that year. So I'm not going to come down hard on the players if we get like a 66-game season. That's just me. So that's all I have to say about it. I do think it's a big deal, but I see both sides of the story.
Me personally, bro, I think it is a big deal, but it should just be whatever. Because I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, like, I definitely disagree with it. First off, what Richard Jefferson said was perfectly executed. And I think it's soft, bro. Like at the end of the day, a few things that go into your greatness as a player. When we start doing everybody always wants to do all these rankings, but then it's like we're making it to where certain things are no longer an advantage.
Right.
Like at one point, when you start changing rules and stuff like that, you're making the game softer. It's like you can't even. How are we gonna have this ranking if they're not playing with the same rules? Like one person played with hand check and the other person played where you can't even breathe on a person. And it's like it kind of makes it hard to have that comparison. And so it's like when we start breaking down all of these attributes, it's like, all right, cool. This person's able to shoot. This person's able to dribble. Your ability. How did they play in these moments? Then it's like they played all 82 games and it didn't play this many minutes, and it increased their minutes by 6 minutes a game in the playoffs. So it's like they was out there hooping. No excuses. Because like you said, if Jordan didn't play 82 games, he played 80.
Right. And he tried to play every game.
Years, he had a messed up knee and broken ribs.
Right.
And so, like, at 39, 40 years old, so it's like, come on, bro. Like, if he was able to do that, then we got better medicine. You are actually getting rest days within these 82 games. You're taking whole games off.
Don't forget how bad was the headache. Remember, MJ said how bad is the headache really?
Right. And so it's like I think it's making it really, really soft. I do think it's a big deal. It should be whatever, because that's just one of the things that can you take care of your body for a season to where you're there for your team in the playoffs. It's just some things happen, and it's just a chance of luck. Because it's like now at this point, if that's something you're trying to avoid, then go back and replay these games where people are hurt at a certain point. Because it's like, all right, last time we talked, I brought up how the Warriors are always playing people that are hurt.
Yeah.
Like if that's such a big deal, then go back and replay those games or something.
Right.
It's like it's always been a point of the game. It's a part of the game. So like you can't help injuries; they just happen. Like, what was it? The dude that broke his leg in Louisville, on that Louisville in that college.
Kevin Ware?
Yeah. So it's like when that happened, he didn't step on anybody's leg. His leg didn't twist wrong or nothing like that. He just came down and stuff just happens out of nowhere. Like it's bound to happen. So there's nothing that you can really do about it. So like, I do think you should make sure you take care of your players, but at a certain point, like just 10, 15 years ago, players were still trying to play 82 games.
Yeah.
And then within the last 10 years, we got a bunch of players taking off rest. They're taking rest days, not playing back-to-backs. Then we moved to where back-to-backs are less frequently. They're still taking back-to-backs off. And so it's like, yeah, bro, y'all just doing too much for me. I can't get jiggy with it.
I'm going to use an analogy because, they always say the hip-hop community and the NBA community has been kind of synonymous in certain things and all that. You know how people say, oh, man, hip-hop ain't the same like it used to be. But there's actually a lot of talent out there. But I get what people mean when they say certain things are the same. It's kind of like the NBA has kind of gone through some of that where there's a lot of more versatility now, but there are certain things about it, of the pureness of it, or the things that when the era that you came up with, that it's just so different. For example, I even take it back to the early 2000s. There was a time when round one was the best of 5, right? So you would win, Kobe and Shaq only had to win 3 games, which I think was unfair, but because you got Kobe and Shaq on the same team. And like, okay, first of 3, man, coach like, man, we ain't going to win this. But, you have that. And then you mentioned the hand checking rule and then the change of the hand checking. And then now offenses are more free flowing. Teams are shooting more threes. Rule changes. That's why they had to implement the kick out rule. I think they brought back the leaning into the shooter rule and all that kind of stuff to kind of we saw defenses ramp up a little more this year. So I agree with you. I think the point you mentioned about the era and the rankings and all that kind of stuff is very, very much at risk and at stake here when we talk about shortened NBA season. For me, like I say, I won't come down with vitriol on people for it. You know what I'm saying? But my preference is always to have the de facto 82 game season because I enjoy it, man. And I'm also a hoop head. If you love hoop, play.
Right. On God. But that wraps that one up, man. We got to talk about these quarterbacks and wide receiver duos, Brody. I was actually really excited because mine is a newly formed wide receiver duo. But then we also got Tua and Tyreek over there, a brand new one. But then there's the Cowboys where they let go of their number one. Now it's a new duo where they've already kind of established some chemistry.
Cowboys. Wow, I didn't even think about the Cowboys
with Prescott and
CD
and CD Lamb. So like, I'm gonna start off. Me, I always go 5 up. So Brady Edwards immediately going to the Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl. Evans has showed that he's a big play receiver, always putting up numbers. If you go through his years, as even from his rookie season up until now, it's kind of hard to find anybody that even compares to him. But he's not one of those people that get talked about as like the top 3 receivers. So I do feel like he does get a little bit of he's a little underrated because if Jalen Ramsey is the number 1 corner in the league, then he's made him look bad on many occasions. And so I think Brady and Evans is at 5. Now we got a newly formed one, but I'm going to use Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow after what they were able to do this past season. From college, the college chemistry that they had to the NFL chemistry. I'm going to put Carr and Adams on this list. Now, I do understand that they have not played a single snap together. But the chemistry they had in college, the fact that they're friends, they work out together, train together. Now being on the same team with the success that Burrow and Chase were able to have with that same type of formula, I'm going to put them at 4. I think that Carr, his ability to keep the team afloat with even has less than type weapons. But now when you have Waller, who's going to open up so many things for Adams. Adams was already be able to create a tremendous amount of space without even touching you. And so I think that plus having Carr who can throw someone open, can lead you back when your team is in a deficit, makes the right call and throws a really good ball. I think those two together are going to make magic.
Okay. I like both those both those selections. Obviously, we're doing the projections of the Derek Carr and Devontae Adams. I would say that's probably my most anticipated offensive duo to see in this upcoming season. That being said, I actually have none of those two duos that you mentioned on my top 5. So so it's going to be very interesting. I think maybe our top 3s will have some of the same players. So number 5 for me, and I think a lot of people, lost due to the offseason and suspensions and things. People tend to forget, and also because he hasn't produced in the playoffs with his quarterback. But Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. I had to put Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins was because they immediately wanted to pair Kyler Murray up with an elite wide receiver that could really take Cliff Kingsbury air raid offense to a next level. So why not do it with one of the best wide receivers? And at one point in time, I believed he was the best wide receiver in the game. I always say the best ability is availability, unfortunately. And has a 6-game suspension, but I don't want to harken too much on that. But some cool statistics, Ralph, I found was that Kyler Murray actually has a 98.6 quarterback rating with over 6,700 yards, 45 touchdowns in 26 games with DeAndre Hopkins. And another reason why I put them both on this list more than just the potent offensive firepower is because we saw what the Cardinals offense was without DeAndre Hopkins last year. They were on a great trajectory. We had Kyler Murray in MVP conversations at one point during the season. And then DeAndre Hopkins' injury and them falling off a cliff, essentially, which we both accredited them to losing to the Rams. Even though the Rams were technically a better team, but we're like, their offense isn't going to move the ball if they play the Rams or any team, and they didn't. So I got DeAndre and Kyler at number 5. And then number 4, I got Captain Kirk and Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, amazing wide receiver. This dude, I take him over A.J. Brown, actually, slightly above A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's a big receiver, can do a couple different things. But he's accumulated 3,000 receiving yards in 2 seasons. So a lot of receivers, they get you like 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. This dude's already broken 3,000 in 2 seasons. And one thing I like about him is he's able to score. He has 17 touchdowns, and he has a 67% catch percentage. And Captain Kirk has 104 quarterback rating with over 8,400 passing yards, 68 touchdowns, and 32 games with Justin Jefferson. So the two duos at the bottom of my list are ones that have yet to produce in the playoffs. But when you play them, you're game playing to stop DeAndre. You're game playing to stop Justin Jefferson. So that's my 5 and my 4.
And then at 3 for me, I got dang, you know what I thought about just now? Does it count if they were like a tight end and quarterback? Because I never even thought about that until
for this one, I said because I figured if we did because if that was the case, I would have just done top 5 duos.
Oh, okay.
Because I would have had because you could even throw a Waller in there because I felt like Waller was actually you could throw a Mark Andrews, you could throw a Kelsey, and I think I'm missing another tight end out there too. So that's why I said receiver, because otherwise we would have like a top 10.
Right. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure before.
Yeah.
Josh Allen and Diggs, man. Diggs, from the moment Diggs got there, Josh Allen's career went to a whole nother level.
Facts.
And now you can talk about whether or not, like how the numbers you mentioned with having someone, Kyler Murray from day one, having someone like a DeAndre Hopkins, what that does for your career. When you go from year 1 and 2, you just kind of like, we see it, but it's not there yet. Then year 3, you almost in the MVP conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your starting wide receiver is now balling. Like it's like so 2 years and 2 seasons plus what Diggs was doing in Minnesota, he showed I ain't no scrub. I'm one of the best.
Maryland.
And so you have someone that can beat their man 9 times out of 10, and like create that separation where you don't even have to throw the best ball. You just got to get it over there. And it's like when you have someone like that, plus you see what Allen's numbers were compared in that time span, I think that those two together, they work magic. I do think that Allen has gotten better, but he's going to have to go to another level to get them in the Super Bowl. But that's a whole other conversation.
And that was your 3, right?
That's 3.
Okay. I like that.
And at 2, we got the Super Bowl duo, Stafford and Kupp. What they were able to do has been like just from year 1, Kupp wins the Triple Crown. Stafford gets them to the Super Bowl, putting up numbers. And plus with them, they have the luxury of having a great offensive-minded coach, where I think that the only one I could kind of compare is Burrow and Chase, where like their coach is an offensive mind. So they get to be so much more creative because they're not thinking in that same box. Where McVay has that same, he tends to run certain types of plays, but he is a creative mind at the end of the day. And so Stafford, Kupp, the numbers they put up, winning the Super Bowl, Triple Crown, I got them at 2.
All right. I actually have no idea who is your number 1. I'm actually like, what's that word they use? Flabbergasted. I have no idea, guys, who he has at number 1. Because I figured one of those last 3 was one of those last 2 he said was number 1 or one of them. So I actually have no idea because I'm thinking I know Tyreek, but I'm like I don't know about quarterback. But we'll see we'll see. I like being surprised. So so number 3 for me, I have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They have a rapport going back to his days in college. Joe Burrow, that is, with Jamar Chase at LSU. They won the championship. Joe Burrow had the best collegiate season in college football history at the quarterback position, and Jamar Chase complimented him very well. The Bengals went out. They drafted Jamar Chase over an offensive lineman, and despite having a lack of an offensive line, right, Jamar Chase was an integral piece in getting them to that Super Bowl, and he had that play on Jalen Ramsey, an elite cornerback. He destroyed elite cornerbacks all last season as a rookie. Furthermore, he beat Justin Jefferson's rookie receiving yards record with 1,455, which is most by a rookie. However, he did have an additional game to do it, and it was the most in Bengals franchise history. And let's look at success, right? They were able to beat Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead, right? They were able to they beat obviously the Titans, a game that I actually thought that the Titans should have won, but they did go all the way to the Super Bowl. But when you lose, you're just the first loser. So I have them at number 3. But that's a duo that is dynamic. And even Randy Moss was like, yo, this is crazy, right? This is crazy. Jamar Chase is crazy. So I expect that to continue. And then at number 2 for me, I have Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. For every reason that you mentioned, they paired Josh Allen, who has a big arm, and he had some accuracy issues. They put Stephon Diggs, a guy who did it with Kirk Cousins, right? Now he does it with Josh Allen. Josh Allen has led the league in catches. Diggs has led the league in catches. Diggs has led the league in touchdowns. And in terms of success, they always have a high win total, and they made it to the AFC Championship game. But it wasn't their offense that let them down. It was their defense that let them down. So I have Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs at number 2. For me, they haven't quite reached the Super Bowl, but the only reason why I put them ahead of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Ralph, is because they have more consistency time, doing it consistently together. I think it's 3 seasons now. So that's why I have them at number 2. All right.
And then for me, man, I mentioned them a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But you got them at 3, so we just kind of flip-flop the times.
Okay.
Where they are. Joe Burrow and Chase is my number one duo.
Okay. Okay.
Just looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
That last year at LSU.
Yeah.
They balled so crazy, Jamar Chase didn't have to play another down and still went top 3 in the draft. Or like top 5.
Yeah.
And so then he gets to the league. He breaks the Justin Jefferson rookie numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Puts up, makes a Pro Bowl, gets to a Super Bowl. And then Joe Burrow just taking it to the next level. He already showed promise and then he messed his knee up. But he was literally out there running for his life his rookie season.
Right, with no line.
You go from you getting a top 5 pick to where now you're literally in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so I think that plus them still being young. So if we're going to do a projection, which is why the Hopkins didn't make my list, he's not playing. So I'm kind of projecting at this sense.
That's
who's
fair.
the best plus going to have the best season was really my mindset when thinking about it, which is why Carr and Adams were on this list as well. But Joe Burrow, Chase, young guns out there, got the juice flowing.
Chase is just amazing to me, bro. I really think he's amazing, bro.
The big playability, they're winning games, winning in the crunch time. It really, like you mentioned with Josh Allen, their defense is what let them down.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, that's my one.
Okay, I just want to say real quick, I personally, because obviously this is all pink, I have no problem with that because I actually almost had them at my number one. I just chose like having done it multiple seasons, as we always say, well, you got to do it again. So I'm like, all right, cool. But in terms of talent, if we went individual talent though, I like Jamar Chase as a top 2, maybe top 3 wide receiver because I have Devontae Adams in that discussion as the best receiver in the league. I also have Cooper Kupp in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like I will never overlook a triple crown. And speaking of Cooper Kupp, I have Matthew Stafford and I have Cooper Kupp as my number one. One in terms of success in their first season. They won a Super Bowl together in their first season. They were missing a quarterback, right? But apparently, if you got Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't trust him getting the job done. Matthew Stafford got the job done. And Cooper Kupp, Triple Crown winner. What that means is he led the NFL in receptions. He led the NFL in receiving yards. He led the NFL in receiving touchdowns. This dude was putting up Jerry Rice numbers. I was amazed, bro. Like I said, you picked the Rams, make the Super Bowl. I was literally amazed. I knew how good Cooper Kupp was. I thought him and Robert Woods complemented each other really well. I thought using Kupp in the slot was really good. But I feel like Cooper Kupp just went to this whole nother level with a quarterback who isn't on the level of a Mahomes or a Rodgers, right? And he became the first since 2005 to join Jerry Rice, Sterling Sharp, and Steve Smith to accomplish a triple crown. Those are all like elite of elite Hall of Fame wide receivers. And he's only the 4th player since 1970 to do it. And he won the Super Bowl MVP. And then to get the actual stats, he had 145 catches. That's like some AB Julio Jones numbers. 1,947 receiving yards and 16 touchdowns in 17 games because there was one game he didn't even play. And then he received 32% of the team targets, which is the most in the NFL. So you can say, well, he was also targeted more. Okay, I understand that. But his catching is elite. His route running, I've always said his route running is so smooth. I have Devontae Adams 1 as a route runner because he don't even use his arms on his release. It's something I never
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's to do without even touching you, bro.
Facts, bro, man. Bro, the AFC West going to get lit up with Devontae, man. I'm just biting at the bit for that. But I got Cooper Kupp and Stafford. I would say you could almost make the case that I don't want to disrespect Stafford, but you can almost make the case that Kupp is just such a good receiver that he kind of carries some of that weight. And so I think that's the reason why I give him the edge over the Burrow and Chase and over the Diggs and Allen. But yeah, that's my number one, man. I really like that Cooper Kupp combination, and they might do something again this year with a better defense. So we'll see.
So we'll see, man. I really enjoyed that one. I thought that one was dope. I was really talking about that one. But we're going to see what happened. Neither one of us are right in this. It's all based.
No Tua and Tyreek, bro.
I gotta see it first.
I know I gotta see it. Hey, it could be cool because they have what's up, old boy Waddle.
Yeah,
that could be nice for fantasy.
It all falls down on Tua, man. Can he stay healthy and can he ball out?
Facts.
But 2022 NBA Finals, Golden State Warriors versus the Boston Celtics. They're at 1-1. They play Game 3 tomorrow in Boston.
Yeah.
Feeling over there, man.
No, I'm just thinking, bro. I'm thinking with the series. And I'm like, this series is going.
What I said at the beginning. So
yeah, you picked the Celtics in what, 7?
6.
6. Okay.
I can see it going 7, but I'm gonna say 6.
Okay. Yeah, I sighed because like the series, the games have been so wild to me. For example, and because we take a time, it's like because I think I picked the Warriors, and I always argue for both sides, and I picked the Warriors at 6. And it's the fact that, and I'm glad I got to talk to you because we're here now, so talk about it. Memorial Day weekend, I was gone, but I was like watching the game. Game 1, bro. Like, no. If I'm the Warriors fan, I don't feel good at all after that game.
Right.
At all. And I said going into the series route, these are my points. I was like, they have home court advantage. They have a distinct experience advantage, which people hate when I say that, but it does matter. Offensively, they have multiple guys they can throw at you offensively, right? And then defensively, which no one wants to talk about, they had the same defensive rating as the Celtics leading up to the playoffs. Now, you can ask, why was that? Could be because they didn't play Michael Porter and Jamal Murray and all that. Or you could say they're also still underrated. Right. Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, right? Kevon Looney. These are some of the names that I think a lot of people overlook on the Celtics defense, and they played great defense last game.
Right.
And I told everyone, I was like, they have to blow them out. I was talking to my homies. I was like, they have to blow them out in Game 2 for them to feel good, and they did that. So now I like what you said about Celtics in 7. I'm going to stick with my pick, but I think Game 2 needed to happen for the series to get extended. If you get where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you watch a series, like as this, we've watched enough basketball over our like decades of life where we're like, if this happens, this is going to happen. The series going to go longer. So I think the Warriors did what they had to do in Game 2, man. But honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I have no dog in this fight. So
I do not.
I like Tatum. That's it.
I really don't have a dog in this fight. I just want to see some good basketball. But at the same time, since I do,
set it off, bro.
I gotta pick a side at a certain point.
Yeah.
I really don't have a horse in this race at all. But based on the knowledge that I carry, the eye test, watching both games, even before this, I had the Celtics. But as far as like the story of the finals, the build up and all of that, it's in order for that to happen, the way that the Warriors lost, they got to come out and smack. They got to punch them in the mouth the next game. Then Boston has to now respond.
Right.
For this story, either way, the story's gonna unfold, but it's either gonna work where Boston responds. I'm not saying Boston has to come out and smack them, but they gotta assert dominance at a certain point. There has to be a certain point of this game where Boston is rolling, and there's nothing that the Warriors can do about it.
Where they look like a better team, essentially.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And so it's like I'm expecting that in Game 3, not really. I'm expecting Boston to win this one.
Okay.
I was sitting there trying to think the other day about like if they're gonna go to 6, what game is it that Boston's gonna lose? And it's hard for me to think that they will win like both at home, and then win at home in Game 6.
Yeah,
I just feel like I feel like they're gonna lose one of those home games.
Because you had them winning in Boston, right, to win the series. Okay.
I have them winning. I'm gonna go. They're gonna go 1-1 in Boston. They're gonna take the one in Golden State and win in Boston in Game 6.
Finals MVP, real quick. If Boston wins,
I feel like I feel like their success is going to boil down to how does Jason Tatum play, regardless if it's him being aggressive, him being less aggressive. Because I feel like he's taking too many like just contested mid range when certain people are crowding you, they double team you, like kick the rock, bro. Like how he played against the Heat was how he needs to play. Where it was games where Jalen was scoring more, but Jason damn near had a triple double.
Yeah.
And I think he needs to play that way while being aggressive to get your bucket, but look to score, look to get others involved because they're gonna key to him.
Okay. Yeah, I like if the Celtics win, I like Al Horford. I'm gonna keep it real. I think Jalen's been more aggressive than Jason this series in a positive way in terms of attacking the rim. I think every series I'm seeing that Jason Tatum, well, he's still young, but I think with all due respect, they could win the series. But I feel like we see flaws in his game in terms of turnovers, and I think he needs a post game. I think he had some post game, but he's not confident in it. And then real quick, if the Warriors win, people hated me for this. I pick Andrew Wiggins. I'm sorry. I pick Andrew Wiggins to win the Finals MVP because I felt his defense and he would give him a scoring punch in terms of isolation. But Steph Curry, I think him going on those scoring sprees at times. Right now, if they were to win, Curry has the edge right now if they were to win. So those would be my picks, probably Curry and Al Horford.
All right. Now, if we were talking about keys to success,
yeah,
those two.
Okay.
Wiggins and Horford. The keys to success is can Horford dominate Draymond, and can Wiggins be what the Warriors need him to be?
Facts. Did Robert Williams get hurt?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay. Because every time he goes down, I'm like, Chief Keef went down.
Yeah.
And on that note,
well, thank you all for watching. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Having us back after a 2-week hiatus.
Yes, guys.
Looking rough, bro.
Same, man.
I've been busy moving, so I ain't really got an opportunity to hit the barber, but looking crazy out here, G. But make sure you follow us on all our socials. You can see mine on the bottom right part of the screen, or I think it's y'all bottom left, honestly.
Right.
But make sure you follow me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter at KYNGRALPH. Make sure you follow the show on Instagram at J.U.K. Sports Show. Make sure you follow the Facebook and YouTube channel, the He Say She Say All One Word, He Say She Say channel.
And you can follow me on IG at the.house of hoops with an S, not a Z, guys, an S. All right.
Thank you all for watching. See y'all next week. Peace out.
Peace.